Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So by the end of today, I will have hit 2,000 miles on my Chevy Volt. And over those 2,000 miles, I've used 8.1 gallons of gas. Most of that was coming back from the road trip when I bought the vehicle. And I'm averaging 240.8 miles per gallon. So I'm just leaving the house. I have 35 miles of charge. And let's get into this 2,000 mile review of this Chevy Volt. Hey guys, so we're sitting in my Chevy Volt. It's a 2013. I bought it with about 68,000 miles and change, almost 69,000 miles. So of course we're just getting really close to that 2,000 mile mark. So I figured I would do this little review at the end of the day. It will hit 2,000 miles. So I've had the vehicle since April 8th, I believe, and it's now May. It's almost June. It's like May 24th today. So I put on those 2,000 miles, just daily driving. I took one trip that required me to use the gas besides using the gas when I bought the vehicle. So essentially I've used 8.1 gallons of gas at about 38 miles per gallon, and the rest of it has been on electric range, just daily driving. So essentially for me, I've saved about 2,000 miles on my truck and my two other vehicles, and a little bit of that on my girlfriend's Mercedes, as well as we share this vehicle. So really, at the end of the day, the 2,000 miles has been flawless. I haven't noticed really anything. There is one thing I've noticed since I bought the car. I do a lot of driving in low in this vehicle. I like to drive in low just for the regeneration. I like to regenerate. I like to keep the miles as best as I can, or as high as I can, the mileage on the battery meter here. And I don't like to use my brakes as much. It's just kind of I'm not used to one pedal driving, essentially, so I like to have that experience in a part electric vehicle. I think it's kind of a novelty. So with that, when I started in low, there is a little bit of a tick, like a bolt is loose or something right away. Otherwise it's fine when you're going at low speeds. When you give it a little gas, there's that little tick. But I don't know, I'm driving 50 right now. I'm letting off the accelerator, can't say the gas, the accelerator pedal, and now I'm slowing down, which is great. I love that. I love that feature of the Volt, and that's really only been the one downside of the Volt, is that little tick come up, and I'm not sure if that's common in these Volts, but that's basically the only negative. Once I get in the shop here, we'll go over the exterior, how the exterior is held up over 2,000 miles compared to when I bought it. But overall, all the materials inside have held up really good. The stereo's held up. I like to listen to my music a little bit louder. Of course, this is the bass stereo with 6 speakers, so it's truly nothing special. The bass is powerful, but the definition and clarity in the sound isn't great by any means. Coming from all my other vehicles, where the Mercedes has a Harman Kardon, my truck's got a Harman Kardon, and the Durango's got a Harman Kardon, and the two SRTs have a nice kicker sound system. So this is definitely the worst of the bunch. But again, it's a daily driver, so what can you expect? This is a base model, completely base, no heated seats, no power seats. Even the steering wheel is vinyl, and the vinyl steering wheel is held up well. I would prefer this to be leather, but again, I bought this as a daily driver, and that's really, I guess, all I care about it for. And truly, the interior has held up well. All the touch points, everything's good over the last 2,000 miles. I haven't had to detail this car on the interior once, because everything actually stays pretty clean. The trunk area, I did have to get a cargo mat for that, a floor mat, just because, you know, I like to put a lot of different stuff back there that could get it dirty. But yeah, that's held up well. Over the last 2,000 miles, I've almost seen an increase in battery power and battery distance, it seems like. Every day I started out when I bought it at about 29 to 30 miles, and maybe that's because I was using the heat a little bit more earlier this year, and now I'm using the AC or less of the AC, and now I'm starting out at about 35 to 36 miles per day. And depending on how I drive this vehicle, I can get almost 40 miles out of this battery still at basically 70,000 miles on the vehicle. So overall, I'm very happy about this. I'm probably going to make a 70,000 mile review of this Chevy Volt once it hits that point as well. And yeah, but guys, if you're looking for a very inexpensive daily driver with some fun driving characteristics, yeah, it's not fast. I did a test. It's 0 to 60 in 9 seconds. 0 to 30 time is 3 seconds, so you get a little bit of throwback in your seat there. But I mean, if you're looking for a typical GM vehicle that does drive well, steers well, you know, the steering is sharp, the characteristics are good, a comfortable ride, this is the perfect car for you. I can't stress this enough. This car flies so under the radar that even it took me years to find it myself. So, and I'm really glad I did. This car is a proven winner. I love it. I love driving it. I love the peace and quiet of it. Ironically, coming from SRT vehicles and loud AMG vehicles and loud trucks and Durangos, and I just like the peace and quiet of this car. And handles well. I feel safe in it. Feel safe in the rain. The battery pack's 900 and some pounds, so all the center of gravity is low. So this car actually handles really well. And yeah, I'm just really happy with the vehicle over the last 2,000 miles. So let's get this baby in the shop here, and we'll go over it very quickly in there. Here's a good description of the sound. Little bit of like a click there or something on acceleration. Nothing else. That's about it. All right, so taking a look at the exterior here, I have had to restore the trim a little bit. Ooh, we've got a slug on the side of the vehicle, so I have had to restore the trim a little bit, and of course it has to be done every couple weeks, just with the wear and everything. The previous owner didn't take the greatest care of the vehicle. I mean, it was still in great shape, but he didn't take the greatest care of the vehicle, so I did have to do a paint correction on it. But right now, it honestly looks really good. I do have to say, of course, this being like an ice blue car, you're not able to see the rock chips too much, which is great. But the paint is actually pretty high quality on this. Not a lot of chipping. There are some chips from the past that I've had to fix myself. But really, the paint is pretty strong, and it's held up really well. Even along the side here where some rocks could fly up, there really isn't too much. Not a lot of flaws, which is great. I did have to change the headlamps on the vehicle because the passenger side headlamp went out. So I just put in some new higher powered halogen lighting on this, some really high powered, because the stock power just wasn't that good. But yeah, I haven't seen any premature tire wear from when I bought the vehicle, and I do like to drive this vehicle a little bit harder. Of course, the brakes are fine at 70,000 miles. Rims have held up well. The rear of the vehicle has held up really well. Yeah, just looking at it, it's a very, very attractive looking little sedan. I'm pretty impressed with it, and I truly like the overall design and the look of the vehicle. It definitely seems to do its job, and it definitely fits a lot of different stuff in the vehicle because it's such a great design. But yeah, over the last 2,000 miles, guys, I am thoroughly impressed. And I would totally recommend one of these Chevy Volts here for the model year 2013. I have had nothing but success with it. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Take care, like, and subscribe.